Let's talk about polls. Clearly, I should have been more specific. Let's talk about Zoom polls. Now, did you know that you can add poll questions to your Zoom session? This will allow for an interactive experience, whether you're running a meeting or a class. You can gain feedback from your attendees or participants through the use of polling questions. So we're going to jump in and look at both the settings that need to be on to make sure that you can actually use polls, and then we're going to build a couple of quick poll questions and put them in a Zoom session. So let's jump into it. To use polls in Zoom, you need to first actually make sure that your account allows for polls. This isn't necessarily something that happens by default. So I'm going to go to my browser, I'm using Chrome. I'm going to go to zoom.us and log in if I'm not already logged in, which in this case I am. Once I'm logged in, I'm going to go to my settings, and I'll get there by clicking on my avatar here on the top right-hand side. I'll view my profile. Okay, once I'm in, I'm going to come down to settings. Now, when I click on settings, it's going to send me to a lot of different options. You can either scroll through and find the polls option, or I will typically just hit Control F on my keyboard, and then I can search for poll. Now it takes me there in the setting to polling, and it's going to say add polls to the meeting controls. This allows the host to survey the attendees. Mine is already turned on, so I know that I can do polls. However, if it's off, I just simply click on the switch and I turn polling on. So now that that is done, I'll actually just go up all the way to the top, and I'm going to go into my meetings. Now you can create a meeting, however, I've already created one for this specific demonstration. It's this test meeting here. And to access my polling, I'm just going to click on the meeting name itself. So in this case, test. Now I'll scroll all the way to the bottom, and I see here that I've not created any polls, but I can add polls at this point. So I'll go to the right-hand side and I'll click add. And then I can enter a title for this poll. And I can actually ask the question. Now notice there's a checkbox here that will allow you to make answers anonymous. Depending on your use case for your polling, you may want to toggle that on and set your replies as anonymous. I'm going to leave that because I don't care. I want to see who's answering these questions. So my question, do you like polls? Answer 1 is yes. Answer 2 is no. Answer 3 is I don't understand the question. All right. Once that's done, I can save this, or I can add an additional question. So let's add another one. So we have, do you like polls? And then the next one is going to be, do you like cheese? Again, the answers will be yes, no, and only if it comes from France. When I'm done entering all of my questions, I'm going to click save. And now there's a poll embedded within my meeting. I can actually create multiple polls inside the same meeting with multiple questions. I'm just going to use this poll for now. Okay, so now that we've created a poll inside our test meeting here, I'm going to just click Start on the meeting and actually open up the meeting. So we're in the meeting. You'll notice my toolbar at the bottom center is going to have a polls button. Now when I click on that, it's going to actually show the first poll here, the questions that live inside that poll, but it's not actually ready for anybody to answer. I, as the host of this meeting, need to launch the poll. So when I click launch, it opens that poll up to anybody who's attending this meeting, and they can click in and enter their responses. I, as the host, can view the responses, and then when I've satisfied that everybody's had a chance to answer, I can end the poll itself. I will see the final responses, and I can actually share those results with the individuals in my meeting. So this has been how to add polling questions to your Zoom session. As always, if you found this information useful, subscribe as more content is on its way.